not to be confused with the Oroch and Orok peoples of Russia. The Oroqen people are an ethnic group in northern China. They form one of the 56 ethnic groups officially recognized by the People's Republic of China. As of the 2000 census, 44.54% of the Oroqen lived in Inner Mongolia and 51.52% along the Heilongjiang River in the province of Heilongjiang. The Oroqen Autonomous Banner is also located in Inner Mongolia. The Oricons are mainly hunters, and customarily use animal fur and skins for clothing. Many of them have given up hunting and adhered to laws that aim to protect wildlife in the People's Republic of China. The government is said to have provided modern dwellings for those who have left behind the traditional way of life. The Oroqen are represented in the People's Congress by their own delegate and are a recognized ethnic minority. Language. The Oricon language is a northern Tungusic language. The language is very similar to the Evenki language, and it is believed that speakers of these two languages can understand 70% of the other language. The language is still unwritten. However, the majority of the Oricon are capable of reading and writing Chinese, and some can also speak the Noll language. History. The Oricon are one of the oldest ethnic groups in northeast China. The endonym Oricon means people using reindeer. The ancestor of the Oricon originally lived in the vast area south of the outer Xinjiang Mountains and north of Heilongjiang. They once formed part of the ancient people known as the Shiwei. In the 17th century, following invasions by the Russian Empire, some Oricons moved to the area near the Greater and Lesser Xinjiang Mountains. Culture. The Oricon are exogamous, only marriages among members of different clans being permitted. The traditional dwelling is called a Xianju and is covered in the summer with birch bark and in the winter with deer furs. These dwellings have conical forms and are made out of 20 to 30 pine sticks. The dwellings are usually about 6 meters in diameter and 5 meters in height. In the center a fire is placed that serves as a kitchen, as well as a source of lighting. Birch bark is an important raw material in the traditional culture alongside the furs. It serves for the preparation of containers of all types, from the manufacture of children cradles to boats. With respect to the reindeer herding of the Evenki, Oricon and Nanai, which all shared the use of birch bark, it can be said that these cultures are part of a birch bark culture. Religion. Until the early 1950s, the main religion of the nomadic Oricon was shamanism. In the summer of 1952, cadres of the Chinese Communist Party coerced the leaders of the Oricon to give up their superstitions and abandon any religious practices. These tribal leaders, Census and Zhao, were also powerful shamans. The special community ritual to send away the spirits and beg them not to return was held over 3 nights in Bai Inner and in Shibazan. The last living shaman of the Oricon, Census, died at the age of 73 on the 9th of October 2000. His life, initiatory illness, and training as a shaman are detailed in a published article, also available online. Census was the last living shaman who practiced his craft prior to the communist banishment of such superstitions in this region in 1952. Over 3 nights in July 1952, in several separate communities, the Oricon peoples held rituals in which they begged the spirits to leave them forever. Evidence for and enhancement of auditory and visual mental imagery during altered states of consciousness can be found in Census's account of his practice of shamanism. Noteworthy is that he reported performing only one ritual journey to the lower world, which he called Buni. This term for the lower world, or land of the dead, is identical to that used by the Nanai people of Siberia in accounts of shamans collected collected almost a century ago. Sacrifices to ancestral spirits are still routinely made, and there is a folk psychological belief in animism. Traditionally, the Oroqen have a special veneration for animals, especially the bear and the tiger, which they consider the blood brothers. The tiger is known to them as Wutaki, which means elderly man, while the bear is a Maha, which means uncle.